Hello and welcome to Take 10. I'm your host, Jennifer Johnson. I'm talking today in our studio with Erik Kimel, founder of the Peer2Peer Tutors here in Montgomery County. And thanks for joining us, Erik.
Thank you very much.
Explain to our viewers what Peer2Peer Tutors actually is.
Peer-to-Peer Tutors is a student-to-student tutoring service. We offer tutoring in any elementary, middle, or high school subject, and we employ the smartest and brightest juniors and seniors in high school with the occasional sophomore to do our tutoring. In the past year, we've held over 850 sessions of tutoring, mainly out of the Winston Churchill High School cluster within our county, and we've also expanded into the Woodin, Whitman, and WJ clusters as well.
Now, you started this program as a senior at Winston Churchill, is that correct?
That's correct.
Why did you do that?
I remember I was sitting in calculus class about early January of 2004, and I noticed that the students around me were very, very bright. And I also noticed that there were students in some of my other classes that could really benefit from their help. So I thought if you really legitimize the whole student-to-student tutoring idea, something that's been around forever, it would really work very well. And I saw that happen in the last 6 months of my senior year of high school. I then had 25 tutors, over 40 clients, and we had a really good program running in our school.
Did you go to a teacher, or did you go to your guidance counselor and say, I want to start this? Or how did,
that's
a great idea, but actually getting it rolling is a whole different.
I really didn't go to any of my teachers and counselors initially. All I basically did was place an ad in the Potomac Gazette. It was my first ad, a little one-by-one for $50 or so, and I got my first few calls, and then word-of-mouth advertising really picked it up. Moms started talking to other moms. I created a buzz within the schools, and then I went back to the counselors, and I went to the middle schools and the elementary school counselors to tell them about our service and to give out our flyers and our information. And because I was a student, the counselors and the teachers were very receptive to my idea.
Now, you have 30 to 35 tutors on call as we speak.
Yes.
And they get paid for their services.
Yes, all tutors earn $15 an hour. That's 3 times as much you make working at the mall, at Abercrombie & Fitch, or at any basic paid hourly job. With that said, tutors are really doing something that comes easy to them. Tutoring to them is something that they know very well, and they can do it on their own time as well. We really reward students for taking an interest in their studies.
The students that you have on call, their expertise range from what? What are most tutors called?
We can offer tutoring in basically anything from math to Chinese language. There's always a student in any class that is very good in the subject and can tutor in, and it's our job to find out those kids, seek out those students, and attract them to work for our company. We're basically the intermediary behind the deal. We match our client with our tutor, and we match their needs and their wants so that they really mesh together and create a very nice relationship.
So this all came from you being in calculus class. Did you see other students struggling in calculus, and you thought? I
saw myself not struggling, but at least
I struggled in calculus, Erik, I'll admit it.
But at least wondering how these other students in my class are doing so well in a class that was very difficult. And I could see some of my friends and also just other students in my other classes that weren't in a calculus class, that could really benefit from their help. A student's first-hand knowledge, being within the system, not a private tutor who's so far removed and has a bachelor's degree, really knows the material, and it's differentiated to the point that it's within the school system and knows the teachers and knows the counselors and how the system really works.
When you employ, say, high school tutors, do they mostly tutor other high schoolers, or are they tutoring some elementary, some middle school students?
Our high school tutors usually tutor 9th and 10th graders within the high school, also middle school and elementary school students. When a client needs tutoring in a specialty subject, which I would call like an AP calculus or an AP chemistry, we sometimes then bring in a college level student. So we usually try to have a 2-year age difference between our client and our tutor, just so there is a sort of mentor relationship, and there's the client still looks up to his tutor as a role model, because that's another advantage of my service. The client does not feel intimidated by his or her tutor. It's not a private tutor. It's not a stranger coming to your house. It's a real student who understands the client's needs.
Yeah, what is the benefit, in your opinion, of another student tutoring a fellow student or a student a couple years behind versus, say, an ex-teacher? Why do you think that relationship, student-to-student, works
I really
better?
believe that students learn best from other students. This is an idea, again, that's been around for so long. You even have National Honor Society, and you have free tutoring services that have used students. But in today's world, I think you really get what you pay for. And I find that tutors, they work harder when they know that they're making a competitive hourly wage and they're doing something that comes easy to them, and at the same time they feel like they're doing more than just earning money because they're helping people. And students want to be rewarded for their interest in their studies, and they want to be rewarded for helping other students.
Now, are you currently looking for more tutors?
I'm always looking for more tutors. You can apply on the website www.peer2peertutors.com, PER, the number 2, PER, TUTORS.com, and you fill out a form, what you think you can tutor in, some references of people we can contact to make sure that you are very good in the subject that you say you are, and then we go through basic training, and you can then facilitate our service and work for the company.
Are you looking for, I know you're looking for very bright students, but they also have to be good teachers. They have to be personable. They have to be easy to, get along with, because the kids asking for tutoring are frustrated.
Exactly. We don't only look for the students that are getting the A+ in the class. We look for the students that are very intellectually adept as well. Kids that can facilitate information, kids that are well spoken, not just the student that aces all the tests, but he can't explain the information, because being able to relate to the client is the primary goal of our service.
Now, you're currently at NYU, and are you a business major?
Yeah, I'm at the Stern School of Business. I'm majoring in finance, which everyone else does at the university.
And you're an entrepreneur already. Is that your goal, to own companies, create companies?
Yeah, my goal basically is to take peer-to-peer tutors on a national scale. I mean, one day I hope to have a peer-to-peer tutors at every high school across the country. I entered a business plan competition at the university this year against fellow undergrads, graduate, and alumni, and peer-to-peer tutors placed 4th in the finals of 130 entrants. So this idea seems to work at Stern. It's a very prestigious competition for $50,000 of startup money.
Wow.
And I've been getting great support up there, and I'm learning how to really take this from a student service to a very legitimized, professional, real tutoring service, something that could compete with a Kaplan or a Princeton Review one day.
When you were at Winston Churchill, did you think, I want to be an entrepreneur someday?
I never thought of any of this. When I even applied to the Stern School of Business, I thought I'd work on Wall Street one day or get into that whole thing. But I really enjoy this. Now at Stern, next year I'll be the president of the Entrepreneur Club. And it's just something I just got into, not because I thought I was going to get into it. It just sort of happened like that.
Let's go back to the tutoring, the actual nuts and bolts of it. Does it take place at the student's home or at school, or where does it take place?
Our tutors go to the client's home on any schedule that the client sees fit. Tutors are usually available after school between the hours of 4 and 7, 4 and 8, and then the client requests to the company, our managers, when they want to get tutored. The tutor then drives over to the house. We've never really had a problem with this, because usually, since our tutors are juniors and seniors in high school, they've just gotten their licenses and they enjoy driving at this point. So transportation is not really a big deal.
Erik, your company, you started a year ago, a little less than a year ago?
Just over a year ago.
Has it been more successful than you expected?
It has been very successful this year. I was cautiously optimistic about going to school and then hiring out managers. But I actually found that we grew even more this year. Our revenue increased by almost 90%, and we seem to be growing every day. These last 2 weeks, we will have the largest 2-week revenue in company history.
That's great.
Going into final exams.
Going into final exams. Yes. Are you going to offer the services through the summer months?
Yes, we offer tutoring all summer long. We specialize in summer math packets, summer reading, but what we really like to do is create a curriculum for our clients to help them get ahead for next year's subjects. We have our tutors tailor a curriculum to the client's needs. If they're going into geometry, we can basically create a mock geometry course for them that really preps them for next year's studies.
Great program, Erik. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're truly a Montgomery County School success story.
Thank you so much.
Good luck at NYU. And thank you for joining us here on Take 10. We'll see you next time.